Welcome back to part 2 of this fourth insight. Brief recap. Leading in a crisis presents leader with several challenges. To tackle these challenges well, leaders must ensure that they manage themselves well through the crisis. This self-management includes leaders minding their physiology through nutrition, exercise, and sleep. It also includes 2 challenges associated with decision-making and a pretty big challenge associated with leaders having to deal with a number of powerful emotions such as grief, fear and anxiety, frustration, or even anger. Ignoring these emotions will not help, but managing them will. Now, how can leaders manage their emotions? Well, first, it really helps to be aware of the emotions that you're experiencing. Part of the day, particularly when you are interacting with others, you are managing your state. You are leading yourself to feel and act calm, confident, and resolute, even if you don't really feel that way. Now, you must remember that this process takes effort. So you must also make sure that you have moments where, by yourself or with a close confidant or a mentor or a coach, you can connect with and acknowledge your real underlying emotion. Naming these emotions is a first step toward managing them. Research also shows that writing about your emotions and experiences in a journal, for example, can also be a very effective way of processing negative emotions. So if you can discuss with a trusted advisor, great, but you can also become a quasi-trusted advisor for yourself when you write in your journal. Beyond naming and potentially writing about your emotions, you could also consider 3 very powerful practices. Each of these practices could deserve its own 10-minute video, and you can actually find such resources easily. So let me here give you like the 1 or 2-minute version. The first and most powerful practice of all is conscious breathing. Conscious deep breathing has 2 very fundamental benefits. 1, it has physiological benefits. Breathing deeply sends a message to your brain to calm down and relax. Your brain then sends the same message to your body, which helps decrease the stress symptoms we often experience, such as increased heart rate, shallow breathing, and high blood pressure. So first, your stress level goes down. Secondly, conscious breathing helps to bring you back here and now. It is a very simple but very powerful mindfulness training exercise. Bringing yourself back here and now is a very effective way to manage anxiety about the future. I don't know what may happen later, but for now, I'm okay. It also helps you to choose your response in specific situations. If you are not present here and now, the habit wins. But if you are here now, then you can sense that you are getting anxious or frustrated or annoyed, and now you have a choice to craft your behavior more productively than you would if you were on autopilot. Finally, bringing yourself back here and now enables you to manage your state, to bring it to where you need it to be right now. You may not feel very confident as you're about to appear on virtual meetings with dozens or hundreds of employees, but they need you to look and come across as confident. So now is the time to make yourself feel this way. 2, second practice. When you feel frustrated or annoyed, it helps a great deal to be able to maintain a strong sense of compassion for the individuals that you're interacting with. Compassion is a less common term than empathy. Leaders over the last few years have been strongly encouraged to develop their empathy for their staff. But research actually shows that empathy, which involves taking the perspective of the other party and almost feeling the same emotions, is actually less helpful and effective than compassion, which involves recognizing and understanding the other party's emotion, but also feeling a strong desire to help improve the other party's welfare. You see, in a crisis situation, you may well have to inflict pain on parts of the organization by ordering layoffs or by otherwise reducing investments or opportunities. When inflicting pain, if you actively feel this pain, it won't be as helpful as you being in touch with it and wanting to do your best to reduce it. So concretely, maintaining your compassion for people starts with you reminding yourself that they are very probably doing their best. Yes, this best may not be very great, but it is their best right now. And by the way, this best may not be enough, but it's not complete crap either. There's typically some areas that are still going well. Connecting with their good intentions and their partial good performance will help you to be more patient and more helpful toward them. Now, you may still decide that this won't be enough and that you will have to take more drastic decisions somewhere down the road. But for now, your compassion will help you to get the best out of them. And it will also help you to create a more supportive atmosphere for all your other colleagues who are watching these interactions. The third powerful practice that can greatly help you to stay at your best during a crisis and to manage your emotions is to nurture your sense of gratitude. Yes, some things are very tough right now. And yes, you didn't deserve any of this crap. And yes, this crisis is requiring you to step up considerably at some cost to yourself and maybe to your family. And it is forcing you to make up for the underperformance of this one or that one. Darn, this is frustrating and annoying. And it is. But try to also pay attention to all the things that are going well. Starting with all your body parts that are hopefully working relatively well to very well. For example, I once had to deal with a kidney stone that decided it wanted to see the light of day. And let me tell you, any day you don't have a kidney stone trying to pass is a great day. Are your family members healthy and well? Well, hopefully they are. And if they are, that's an extraordinary blessing. Look also at all the folks around you who are going over and above the call of duty to help you, to help their colleagues, and to help the organization. Some of them are even finding time to also volunteer to help their communities. You can also be grateful for the client who will stand by you or the supplier who's giving you a break. Think of all the things that went well today and all the people who were admirable. We all have so much to be grateful for. Gratitude helps leaders on many fronts. Research shows that a regular gratitude practice contributes to better physical and mental health. By helping you to place your setbacks and frustrations in a proper perspective, gratitude helps you to deal more philosophically and calmly with these setbacks and frustration, which will lead to better outcomes. It will also help you to become more resilient. So gratitude can be one of the foundations of resilience, and leaders clearly need resilience in times of crisis. I'm already way over the time target that we had set, so I'm going to have to stop soon. At the end of this video, you will find resources to have a deeper look at some of the practices I just mentioned. The key point was that during a crisis, your role as a leader is more critical and also more challenging than ever. This combination of high stakes and high challenge means that you must be consciously looking after yourself to make sure you remain in peak performance throughout the crisis. Now, this self-care has a physiological foundation, building on the interdependent tripod of nutrition, exercise, and sleep. It also requires you to meet two key cognitive challenges associated with one, ensuring effective, database just enough decision making, and two, maintaining a clear sense of priorities to help the organization and its members to stay clear of both inertia and hyperactivity. Last but not least, maintaining yourself in peak performance through the crisis will require you to understand and manage your and your colleagues and your staff's key emotions. You cannot manage what you're not aware of. So being able to identify and name your emotions is going to be very helpful. So will developing a mindfulness practice, starting with conscious breathing exercises, nurturing your compassion for others, and 3, developing a gratitude practice to remind yourself regularly of how lucky you are. Now, I know a lot of these ideas do not feel natural. In fact, in many cases, they feel almost like the opposite of what we would be inclined to do. And that is precisely why we need to discuss and practice these ideas. You do not need my help to feel stressed and to become inhibited or frustrated. We can all do that pretty easily and pretty naturally. What is more challenging is to develop practices that are sometimes counterintuitive and oftentimes quite challenging in order for us to become better versions of ourselves as leaders and as human beings. A crisis is a great opportunity to do this, and I hope that these 4 insights help your reflection along. Thank you for your interest and attention, and let's continue this conversation on various chats and social media. All the best to you for now.